let's go on a European adventure tonight, guys. A European adventure with this guy, with Errol Flynn. Tonight's movie review is another Errol Flynn picture. I'm sort of on a little binge with him right now. It's called Escape Me Never, and it came out in 1947. It's, of course, a Warner Brothers picture because Errol's in it. Shockingly, Alan Hill isn't in this one. He wouldn't have really fit with this one anyway. But it was directed by Peter Godfrey. It, of course, stars Errol Flynn. It has Ida Lupino, Eleanor Parker, young Gig Young. And I want to note that I don't have too many notes on this picture. I saw it about a week and a half ago, and there's not too much information on the production of it as far as I could find. In fact, Errol's autobiography, he doesn't even bother to mention it, which is unfortunate because, like his picture, The Sisters, he certainly plays an eerily similar character to his own self. In this picture, he's doesn't exactly have an alcohol problem, but he's a womanizer, which, of course, Errol was famous for that. So in this picture, I'll sort of just talk about the plot, tell you what I like about it, and this will be a little more relaxed movie review than others. So the plot of this movie is very strange. Starts out in Italy. Gig Young, he's in love with Eleanor Parker, very beautiful, and they're going to be engaged, but then she goes away. So she goes away because she thinks that Gig Young is having an affair with Ida Lupino's character, when really Ida Lupino's character is Errol Flynn's love interest. And Ida Lupino, she's obsessed with Errol Flynn. She loves him. And his name is Sebastian in this film. She loves Sebastian. And Gig Young is the brother to Sebastian. We don't need to know his name. We'll just call him Gig. So he's the brother to Errol in this picture. And there's this weird mix-up. And Errol and both of them are composers, small town composers. Apparently their dad was a famous composer in Europe. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this is all taking place in Italy. It looks like it's Venice. Beautiful set, I might add. I don't think this was filmed in Italy, but it was very convincing. Warner Brothers was so good at building sets. So Errol's just this carefree guy. No, he doesn't care if he has money, but apparently he's a brilliant musician. And Ida Lupino, she has a baby from another man in the past. It's not Errol's kid. And I might note that the baby in this picture, I watched this with my family, and we all thought the baby was just adorable, one of the cutest babies ever. And the baby, his name is Piccolo in the picture, and he's so good at he's a good little actor because he's actually reacting to what the actors are doing. But Piccolo is great to watch. And the baby isn't Sebastian's. It's Ida Lupino's from a previous man. Little risque for back then. And she's not a tramp, but, she's lower class. Eleanor Parker's from a rich family, so she looks down on that. Anyway, so they decide to go meet with Eleanor Parker and convince her, look, there's been a misunderstanding. Gig Young is not having an affair with Ida Lupino. He really loves you. And of course, when they end up going there, Sebastian unknowingly comes across Eleanor Parker during a very beautiful scene when they're performing. It's this beautiful music in this Italian villa area in the mountains, and Sebastian sees Eleanor Parker, and of course he starts to put on his charm when he's just told Ida Lupino that he's in love with her. And I can't remember if they were married at this point. I don't think they were. No, they weren't. But he's always just going behind her back, womanizing. And he basically it's so funny to watch him flirt with her, tell Eleanor Parker all these beautiful things, and she falls for it, of course. So then she falls out of love with Errol Flynn's brother, Gig. And so there's this weird it's not a triangle, but like this 4-way affair romance stuff going on in the picture. It's a good story. It really is. I know it sounds pretty soapy, but I enjoyed it. The picture then goes in, they move to London, and Errol's struggling to make money off of his work that he's composing, and Eleanor Parker's still obsessed. She's now obsessed with Errol, but Errol, Sebastian, is now married to Ida Lupino, and now Errol goes back to his wicked ways, the name of his autobiography, and he comes up with this plan to basically run off with Eleanor Parker, his brother's fiance, and leave his wife for her because she's this beautiful swan, and he was inspired by her beauty to make this opera, and she's gonna help fund him make this opera. But there's a great scene when they eventually do run away together, Sebastian and Eleanor, where he is coming on way too strong, and right away you can tell, okay, there's only physical chemistry between them, I think, and their personalities do not match at all, and he's just like getting to super close, and you can see she's uncomfortable, and it's a little creepy because, you know, Errol was accused of rape, and he's acting a little rapey in this scene. But he does the right thing and realizes, you know what, this isn't gonna work. You need to go back with my brother, and I belong with Ida Lupino, because she had even said a remark about Ida Lupino that he was like, whoa, she is not trash. She is a wonderful woman. And it's, I'm not going to give the biggest heartbreak away in this movie, but it has to do with Piccolo, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you watch this film. But it was very heartbreaking. I'm going to give this film a 3 stars. It's oddly, surprisingly good, but I recommend watching it. 3 stars. It may be a little bit forgettable, but it's worth one watch. You know, it's not amazing, it's not great. Very interesting story, and like I said, it's interesting watching Errol play these characters who resemble him so much. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this movie review. I hope you enjoy the film. Let me know what you think of this picture. It's definitely an odd one for Errol, and just an odd story in general. But let me know what you think in the comments, and have a good night, everyone.